Good evening, all, depending on where you are watching me from. Today's lecture, we shall be focusing on a very important topic, area of concern for our undergraduate and postgraduate students. The topic is, or the discussion centered on how to formulate a project topic and work with your supervisor. Your presenter remains Dr. Anayo Ikegwu, popularly called Analyst. All right. The objective of our today's discussion includes what is a project topic, how to select a project topic approval by the project supervisor, how to start the project research, project organization, preliminary and body. And finally, on this, we will be looking at reference manager for citation and referencing. Now, what is project topic or title? A project topic, or you simply call it research project topic or title, is focused subject or area of inquiry choosing for investigation, aiming to solve a specific problem, explore a concept, or contribute new knowledge within a particular field. Note this important highlighted text. For a project topic to excel, it must have a contribution to knowledge. There must be a problem. First of all, there must be a problem you want to solve. This problem must be clearly stated. And you can formulate your problem based on the previous research or the literature reviews, based on other people's work you have gone through. You're able to pinpoint some gaps. You'll be able to detect some of the shortfalls or loopholes from the existing works. Then you can do that from the concept of the work generally. Then there must be a contribution you want to add. One feature, must be one or two things you want to add from the existing body of knowledge. I repeat, there must be a contribution to knowledge. You must state or have one or two things, new features to add from what is already in existence. In addition to this, we could deduce that a project topic or a title should be what? Specific, concise, and often catchy phrase that describe the focus and purpose of the research studies. What we are trying to establish here is that your project topic or a title must be concise, must be brief, a phrase word that have all the nitty-gritties of the that will be able to cover or envelope the problem you want to solve and how you want to solve it and how you want to contribute to the new knowledge. This title must encompass what you want to discuss, and it must be brief. There are things where you want to investigate, that which you want to investigate, that area you want to investigate. Your title must be what? Brief. It must be concise, it must be specific. Okay? So, having understand what the project topic is or title, before we proceed, it is very important that you know this investigation we are talking about. It must be area of this, which includes area of concern. You want to dive into to make a new knowledge, to find out what exactly is happening in that area, to create a unique concept that want to solve the problem within our surroundings. So, having noted what the project topic or title is, we can now proceed. How to select a project topic. First of all, you are expected to submit 3 topics of your choice from the areas that you have a great or strong passion for. It must be the areas you have feelings, you have passion to solve problems. So this area could be artificial intelligence or machine learning, in the area of cyber security, in the area of software engineering, in the area of health, in the area of Internet of Things or Internet of Everything or Internet of Medical Things, IoT, IoE, or IOMT, or robotics or IT, information technology, networking, education, and etc. However, let's look at tips in selecting a topic. We strongly emphasize that you choose your topic in your area of interest, and which is quite challenging. Let's look at some of the tips. Choose a topic that you are interested in. The research process is more relevant if you care about your topic. Narrow your topic to something manageable. Bring it closer to what you can carry. If your topic is too broad, you will find too much information and not be able to focus. Your background reading can help you choose and limit the scope of your topic. You need to make a preliminary search. Going forward, review the guidelines on the topic selections outlined in your assignment. Ask your professor or your course lecturers for suggestions. Nevertheless, refer to lecture notes and require text to refresh your knowledge of the course and assignment. Take, for instance, most of the courses have been done or offered tailored in different areas. You need to explore different areas that touches humanity. From there, you begin to bother, how do I come up with a means to solve this problem based on your environment, based on the society you are dwelling in. Okay. Talk about research ideas with a friend. It's pertinent that you can discuss what you want to do with your friends. They may have 1 or 2 things to contribute or draw your attention to things you feel your mind may not cast in. She or he may be able to help focus your topic by discussing issues that did not occur to your mind at first. Think of the following: the 5 W. I repeat, the 5 W questions. These 5 W questions include why, who, what, where, when. Why emphasize choosing the topic? What interests you have about it? Do you have an opinion about the issues involved? Then who? Focus on the information providers on this topic. Who might publish information about it? Who is affected by the topic? Do you know of organization or institution affiliated with the topic? What are the major questions for this topic? Is there a debate about topic? Are there a range of issues and viewpoints to consider? Where? Talk about your topic importance at the local, national, or international level. Are there specific places affected by this topic? When? Is or was your topic important? Is it going to answer some important questions such as, is it a current event or a historical issues? Do you want to compare your topic by time period? Here, it is very important that you look at things that the areas that affect humanity within your background, within the society, and come up with a topic. It is not advisable to go and pick already made projects from another institution and they reformat it, republish it, and come and present it. It is not advisable. It is unethical for you to pick existing project work done in another institution and come to present it in your own institution. It is forbidden. Some people find it difficult to come up with a topic, but with these lectures, it will be able to guide you, inform you, because those who are not informed may be informed. Inform you that you look around your areas, look around what touches around, happens within your environment. From there, you cannot conceive solutions to address such inherent issues. Before you know it, you can come up with a novel topic or areas to work on. All right. Going forward, we'll look at project topic approval by project supervisor. Once your topic, the 3 topics of your interest have been tabled or you have come up with the 3 topics, you have to submit it to your supervisor for approval, because the person who have the prerogative power, the impetus, the temerity to approve any of the 3 topics is your supervisor. Is your what? Supervisor. How do you work with him? Your supervisor, from the 3 topics, he may engage you in some certain discussion to know why you want to embark on such project. Then after much conversation, then he will now approve one of the topics for you. Then you have to move on to do the other things that is required of you. Because you expected that this topic you are choosing, that you and your supervisor are to embark on it and come up with some results. Your supervisor is there to guide you on every step taken to accomplish this research work. Okay. So once your topic is approved, then we'll now look at the next thing to do. The next thing to do. How to start or begin the project research. Now the topic has been approved by your supervisor. What next? This depends on the approach of your supervisor. Every supervisor have their own way of approaching their own research. There is no universal law backing that this specific approach must be followed. However, on my own personal experience or approach, I strongly advise students to follow these strategies. Number 1, download at least 30 academic articles or journals or materials related to your topic. Use the keywords of the project topic to do the downloading. While downloading, don't use the normal Google search. Use scholar.google.com, Google Scholar, to search for the academic materials. Google Scholar is where all the academic materials or articles are being, packed or stored for easy retrieval. There is a kind of cross-reference. However, there are other academic databases you can visit, like PubMed, Science Direct, IEEE, Web of Science, Springer, and the rest of them. So when, for instance, you are using scholar.google.com, you type in your topic. Maybe your topic is how to start a project research. The keyword there is, you see, project research is the keyword. So I can type project research. Then, by the time it opens, you will see where you can now customize the year, because it is important that you focus on your work on the recent studies than be talking what have been done during our ancestors or during our forefathers. Those problems we may be describing must have been solved. So that's why it's good that you draw you concentrate more on the recent studies or works. For instance, past 5 or 6 years, from 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24 to 25, if we are currently maybe in 2025. For instance, you started your work in 2025, and that work spread to 2026 or 2027. As you are working, you keep updating your literature. You must make it so recent, because you may start a work now, but maybe one way or the other you are too slow, and those problems you have at martial out to solve, someone may come up with it and solve it before you complete it. If someone has solved the problem you want to solve, why embarking on such research? You need to discontinue. But to avoid discontinue, then you need to look at the recent works, how that person solved it, and how do you improve on such work. The result the person achieved, how will you improve on such a result? Either you are picking your problem or literature gaps from the method or the approach or the theories and the rest of them. So I stated here that you should avoid using outdated citation or reference or papers, except in an unavoidable instances, like quoting a historical background or event just to portray your point. On that note, that is where you can now do what? Cite some old works, maybe 2020, 2010, 2015, 2011, just in that perspective. But when you come to the main essential of your studies, focus on the recent studies, past 5 years studies. Okay. Finally, on this note, to begin your project research, begin with chapter 2, literature review, after screening the downloaded materials. In my own personal opinion, I encourage every student, once your project is approved, you downloaded some materials, you screen it, change the word by removing the irrelevant ones, because when you are downloading, you'll be downloading every material you see. At the end, you start going through it one after the other. Take the one that is relevant to the concept you are discussing. Then, on that note, you'll be able to have some relevant material you want to work on. Then, after which, start with your literature review. Reading all those work you have downloaded. Check their shortcomings, shortfalls, pitfalls. Check some loopholes from what they have done, so that it will help you to be acquainted, to understand what people have done and what you want to add or improve on it. Either you are enhancing or you're improving on the existing methodology, or you want to propose a new one. Nonetheless, you cannot propose a new novel or issues without understanding the existing issues. Okay, so you need to understand what people have done previously for you not to come up with your own proposal. All right. So going forward, we'll look at project organizations, preliminary and body. Here we'll be looking at what the preliminary pages, the organizing your work, because you have two parts: preliminary pages and the body of the work, the main body of the work, the main body. Then the preliminary pages include the following: the cover page, flying page, title page, declaration page, dedication, certifications, acknowledgements, abstract, table of contents, list of tables, list of figures, if any, references, appendix, if any. And these preliminary pages, in numbering, it will have Roman numerals I, in that order. So this is what that forms your preliminary pages. Now let's look at the body of the project, or the main body of the project. The main body of the project, it consists of the following structures: chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, and the references. After the reference, before, you can now put some of the appendix if there is. Let me give you an insight or a hint what each of these chapters consists. Now, take for instance chapter 1, introduction. This chapter 1 and introduction will be capital letter and to be centralized, which includes 1.1, background of the study, 1.2, statement of the problem, 1.3, aim and objectives, 1.4, research questions, this is 1.5, 1.5, significance of the study. Then 1.6 should be scope of the study. Should be scope of the study. Okay. Okay, that have been corrected. 1.4 is research questions. 1.5, significance of the study. 1.6, scope of the study. So, again, looking at maybe chapter 2 is literature review. Each chapter and the subheading must be centralized and must be in capital letter. Here you look at the concept, the conceptualization of the work. You look at, is there any theory, empirical review? Here you look at using those your concept from the topic. From each of the concept, you need to, from definition, the background knowledge, explain them. Is there any types, is there any subunits, and the rest of them. If it's an algorithm, how do you compare those algorithms? How do you convey it to your readers? Maybe you use like table, you sketch some of the images, you check some of the strength and weakness of the existing works. Also, you look at, from there, you can now identify your gaps from the literature. It is important, if you can come up with your novel images, sketch them, but where it is unavoidable, you want to import existing image or diagram, then you must cite the source. you must credit the source. Very, very important. So in your literature review, here you are looking at what the different works people have done. Then look at what they fail to do. Your interest is how to criticize the existing works. Each work you mention, you must look at what they could not do. The loopholes is your interest. Each work you put, you must criticize it, what they did and what they could not achieve. It is from there you look at different things they fail to do, then you can now say, okay, I've identified 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 literature gaps. Therefore, from the literature gaps, you can now draw your problem statement. Because without the literature gaps, it will be difficult for you to clearly state your problem. That is why I advise you start from what? Chapter 2. So that you understand the clear picture of what you want your research is. So that at the end, you can now say, okay, yes, I've understood what my work is all about. Then look at what people have done. Look at what people are yet to do. From there, I want to fill this gap. Maybe you have 5 gaps, and out of the 5 gaps, you want to concentrate on 2 as a problem you want to solve. You can just go back there and put in a statement form that so and so are things that others could not do, and this centered from these premises, I want now to solve these problems. That is how you can now formulate your statement of problems. So I advise, do chapter 2 first before you go to chapter 1. After the chapter 1, you can now go to chapter 3 in that order. After chapter 3, you can now proceed to chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6. So in chapter 3, I just give an insight. Depends on the guidelines your school have. So take for instance now, in chapter 3, you have methodology and system analysis. Here you have to discuss about methodology adopted and reason for the adoption. That is your software methodology. We also look at the analysis of the existing system. You further look at weakness of the existing system. After you finish discussing it, you can now progress with analysis of the proposed system, where you have to start discussing with the proposed system architecture, the component of the proposed systems, then the methodology you use or you have adopted. You can now use it to begin to illustrate analyze the proposed systems in that order. By the time you are done, you progress with chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6. Each of the chapter has their own organizations, which as you continue to work with your supervisor, it will guide you on what to do. Okay. Now, if final in this part of today's discussion is referencing manager for citation and referencing. Let me make it clear now that it is an offense. It is unethical. It is prohibited. It is academic dishonesty to cite a work without referencing it. Likewise, it is academic dishonesty or forbidden to reference a work that did not cite. I hope you people are following me. Every work cited but was referenced. Citation and referencing works in pari passu, hand in hand. So here you need to have all the works you have studied, you have read, you want to do or cite them As you read them, you have to give them that credit. So I advise that you utilize reference manager, especially Mendeley for all your citation and reference, because Mendeley automatically cite and generate the references as in form of bibliography. Maybe in my next lecture, would now discuss Mendeley, how to use Mendeley referencing manager. I love it. I like it so much. Yours, when you're using Mendeley, even if you have hundreds or thousands citations, as you read your site, once you are done, just click on generate bibliography to generate all the whole references. So, and in our own area, we use upper referencing styles. I repeat, we use upper referencing styles. You can read further about upper referencing styles. Thank you for your wonderful listening. I would urge all of you to subscribe to my YouTube channel for updates. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, very, very important. And if you have any question, you can easily contact me from my email, as you can see on the screen. But I strongly request that you like or subscribe to my YouTube channel for more updates, because I'm going to we are going to have a lecture on Mendeley referencing manager, citations in different order. Thank you once more for your listening, and if you have any question, feel free to ask. You can drop your questions in the comment sections. Okay? Thank you.